Texan Tommy Tune is celebrating 50 years on Broadway. Steps in Time is a musical journey through that career. The final performances of this Dallas Summer Musical show are this weekend. NBC5's Bobbie Wygant has more.
It was so emotional last night when it all came together, and I realized that this is where my first job, I got my equity card, which made it possible for me to go, when I got to New York, to go to an audition, because if you don't have an equity card, it's catch-22. You can't go to an audition unless you have an equity card. You can't get an equity card unless you're working. So Dallas Summer Musicals took care of that for me. Double time step.
And now, 50 years later, at age 72, Tommy Tune is still dancing at the top of his game. And you say you're 5 foot, how many?
5'17"3/4". Doesn't sound so tall, right?
And I think the only thing you haven't done is the circus.
And I want to be a ringmaster in the circus before I kick the bucket.
You wouldn't have to have any stilts. Has the NBA or any basketball coach ever wanted you to be on the team?
Well, the coaches in high school, but Bobbie, I didn't like the costumes.
You have 9 Tony Awards.
I think I'm the only one that performs and directs and choreographs.
The National Medal of Arts had to rank very, very high on your career.
It says it's the highest honor in the land for artistic achievement. So this was just in the Oval Office with the President and the First Lady. So it was just like down home. He called me Double T. Double T, you still dancing, everything's still working? Hook 'em horns.
In this show, you pay a very moving tribute to Charles "Honey" Coles, the wonderful tap dancer. It brings people to tears.
He was a great man and a wonderful dancer. He taught me so much.
When I saw this show, enjoying, loving every moment of it, Tommy, I kept thinking, this show has to go to Broadway. Is there any chance it might?
I had breakfast with Michael Jenkins, the producer of this whole Dallas Summer Musicals, and he wants to take it to Broadway. And he just saw it last night for the first time. He said, this show belongs on Broadway. And I said, it's yours. And he said, we're going to figure it out. It's a unique show, and it's very hard to describe what it is, because it's not just, and then I wrote, and then I did this, and then that, because I hopscotch to keep it interesting. So I do some of the songs that I've performed, but there are all this panoply of music in the show from all these different composers that help tell my particular moment. The way you wear your hat.
Steps in Time, starring Tommy Tune with the Manhattan Rhythm Kings, is on stage at Fair Park Music Hall. Final performances are this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with matinee and evening performances both days. Bobbie Wygant, NBC5.
It is 9:51 now. Coming up, we continue our series on the Texas town of El Paso. And one NBC5